So guys, here we are, MMA UK News, Stoomboy as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So talking about Grapplefest 14, so we're now only 5 days away from, again, one of the most awesome shows out there on the grappling scene at the moment. Definitely the number one show in Europe and possibly in the top 5 for best shows in the world. So Tomo and the rest of the Grapplefest team have done another amazing show, which we're obviously going to see this Saturday. So that's going to be Fusion Nightclub, Fleet Street in Liverpool. Ticket availability, make sure you hit up your chosen grapplers because they may still have some tickets available. Anybody that can't get tickets through their chosen grappler, hit up the Grapple Fest or on Facebook or Instagram, and you will get the details through there. Fight TV also has the pay-per-view, as they always do. So again, head over to Fight TV and you will get all the details from there. Now, it's going to be another amazing event, as I said. So the atmosphere at a Grapple Fest night, there is nothing like it at all. I mean, the Liverpool crowd absolutely love what they're seeing. They're a very, very knowledgeable crowd when it comes to combat sports. Liverpool's a fighting city, and as I said, it's always a joy to come down to Liverpool and not just see the event, but see obviously the spectators and see the crowd and stuff like that, because they do get very, very involved in the action, which makes for an unbelievable night. So now my next guest then is going to be on the show that night. So again, Grapplefest veteran, Paul Webb, Next Generation MMA. So Paul's going to be up against Mark Macqueen of BJJ. So two powerhouses. I mean, I put up a video on Instagram, just obviously the picture of the two of them talking about earthquakes, because there's going to be some fireworks in this match coming from both grapplers. So it's going to be an absolute joy to watch this match. So Paul's awesome. I mean, Paul's one of the guys, obviously been around for a while. Again, everybody holds him in high regards when it comes to grappling. As I said, very, very accomplished grappler, very, very technical. Even though he's a big guy, he's an ultra heavyweight, he's a very, very technical grappler. So it's going to be brilliant to see him up against Mark Macqueen this Saturday. So, Paul, absolute pleasure, buddy. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me. Yeah, listen, absolute pleasure. I'd say when I saw your name on it, I saw your name on previous ones and always wanted to chat with you. And then obviously this come up, obviously against Mark Macqueen. Mark Macqueen's one of my teammates, but listen, I smash Mark in the gym all the time, Paul. I smash him every day. So it'll be an easy night for you, bro. Easy night.
Thank you. No, I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. I think it'll be a good matchup. I was saying before we went live, I think Tomo, he's great at matching things up, and I don't know. I think we'll lock horns and go for it for 10 minutes, so it'll be fun.
Yeah. That's the one thing about Grapplefest. I mean, obviously you've been on before, and I mean, people come out and for that 10 minutes they give it everything they've got. Which, as I said, the matchups that we've seen previously have all been amazing. We've had some really, really amazing matchups, some amazing performances by a lot of grapplers, and this Saturday is going to be no different.
I think like, who's the main event? Is Jacob Couch, is it? And
Owen Flanagan, yeah. So,
yeah, and he like, there wasn't he fourth in ADCC or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think that, just having the ability to kind of get, attract them type of kind of superstars of the sport. I think it's always going to be a brilliant night, and on top of that as well, they seem to have a way where they give local guys like myself who aren't kind of superstars, a platform to kind of express ourselves on that as well. So it's brilliant what the Grapplefest guys are doing, and Tomo and all that, they're doing a good job there, and each Grapplefest just seems to get bigger and bigger. So yeah, it's good.
That's the thing. I always laugh with Tomo, because obviously I talk to Tomo on a regular basis, and I always say to him, like, Tomo, how are you going to get the next show bigger? Because obviously as you said, every event it seems to get better and better and better.
Yeah.
You're thinking to yourself, how's he going to top this? And he always comes out with amazing cards. And Tomo's one of these guys where, even though he's setting up Grapplefest 14, he's already thinking about 15 and 16 and 17 and so on.
Yeah, well, I found out about this match before. Well, not. So it was Grapplefest 13, like the Daisy Fresh was in our gym, and we were all having like an open mat type thing, and Tomo was there starting to roll. I know he's injured again now, isn't he? But he was starting to roll again. But he was saying, he said, you can have the winner of Mark Macqueen and Jamie Acton if you want. So I was like, yeah, definitely the two quite exciting guys. So
yeah.
Either way, I've got to be honest. Any match that gets put forward to me, I'm happy to. It's only, like I said before, if it was the UFC, and I was making money from it and stuff like that, I'd be more careful to the matchups and be more kind of. But when it comes to rolling, I'm happy to roll with anyone. I think it's part of the fun, and it is what it is type thing, isn't it? You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to just getting out there in front of the crowd again. Yeah.
What about you then? Obviously, again, coming up on your anniversary for your black belt as well. So
yeah. When do we get me? I don't get a stripe yet until 2 years, isn't it? That's 3 years.
3 years, yeah, 3 years. So it'll be another 2 years time. So it'll be 2024. You should get a stripe in that. So, but yeah, coming up on your anniversary, so year anniversary, and that's been a good year. Obviously, getting your black belt. Obviously, you had a good start to the year. Obviously, tapered off a little bit, and then this is now you getting back into it. So how's everything been for you training wise over the last year? Now that you're
training wise, I didn't change much until about April. So kind of, I had me 2 matches in, I think, the beginning of the year, which went really well, and then I had things set up. I had to pull out of one because of a family emergency, and then I think there was 2 others where other people pulled out on me. But it is what it is. If you train in this sport, that injuries come, and it is what it is. I get it, so I'll never complain. But at the same time, it does leave you with an essence of frustration. But I ended up with a really bad chest infection. It was about February, March time, and I think I didn't do a test, but I think I had COVID. I was very low on energy, but I went to doctors, and she said, let's just do a blood test, just see how things are going. And I was like, yeah, sound. And it come back that I had low folate, so I was like, that's usually what pregnant women have. So obviously, I'm doing something wrong here. So I need to start looking at my health. I'm not in my early 20s anymore. I'm coming up to 30 as well in January. So I thought I'll start being healthy. So I started the weights in April, and I started getting on with my diet. So I've come down from 135. I'm now 116. On a good day, 116.8. So I'll eventually I want to get down to under 99. I want to compete.
Nice.
I want when you look at me as a person, the majority of the lads that I've fought against on Grapple Fest or in my grappling matches, they've all been quite spectacles. You got Adam Ellis, who's like 7th. He walks next to the UFC fighters on their nights, and it's just his chest showing. And then you've got Omar, he's a massive man.
Yeah,
I had a catch wrestling match against James Thompson, and all these massive men. So I think I want to kind of get down in weight. I want to compete at a more appropriate weight for my kind of body. So I'm hoping by April next year I'll be down to under 99. I'm not doing it too fast. I'm just doing it nice and slow, and it seems to stay off that way as well.
Yeah. I mean, I did the same. I mean, I was pre-lockdown. I was 95, and then obviously lockdown came and kind of, like most people, it kind of ruined a lot of people's journeys and weights and stuff like that. And then I think I went up. I think I got as high as 116. And then started cutting weight down last month, and I started about 112.6, and I'm currently 101 point. What did I weigh this morning? 101.8.
That's
so. Yeah. I was always one of these guys. I mean, like, I'm 5'4", 5'5", depending on how big my high heels are. So, and I always fought it's super heavy, so under 100. And I was enjoying it because I was obviously the smallest person in the division. And I enjoyed it. I was going out and having great success at that weight division. So I kind of stayed at that weight division, but then now, kind of similar to you, I mean, I think my next comp's 11th of December, I'll be under 100. And then my next one I want to do is the Euros. So I want to be under 94 for that. And I've agreed a submission only in May time, and I want to be under 88 for that. So,
wouldn't you ever get on Grapplefest?
Nah, I'm too old, man. I'm 45-year-old. So,
age is just a number.
Listen, unless he puts a Mustang division in there, then. Nah, see, no gi's never my thing. I mean, I love watching it. I love watching it. I'll obviously train it in the gym every now and again, just purely for fitness levels. But yeah, gi's my thing. I mean, I love being able to wrap someone up in their own lapels and, do you know what I mean, lapel chokes and all that.
That's what I don't like about gi. It's like when I do it, I think it's also a bit of, it might be a bit of ego as well coming out of me. It's like kind of, you know, when people start undressing you and start choking you with your own belt, what's going on here? It doesn't, this isn't, you know, it is what it is. But I like gi, I respect it. It's just, it's not my favourite part of the sport. It's just something that I've got a gi and I do it every so often when I'm in the mood for it.
Listen, the older you get, the love for the gi will come in more and more. So I always loved it because obviously being an older person and you know the gi, you can slow everything down a little bit more. And, so obviously being an older person, gas tank isn't what a 25-year-old's gas tank will be. So I like to slow things down. And as I love lapel chokes. Just being able to wrap, as I say, someone up in their own gi and choke them with their own gi is, to me, is absolutely brilliant. So, that's my plan. So obviously for you, I mean, your plan again, get under 99, which again is going to be awesome. I mean, we've seen you in comps, obviously over 100 and so on. Coming in at under 99 is going to be absolutely brilliant for you as well.
I think like since I've lost my weight, my ability to, my body now keeps up with my mind, if that says it right. Like I'm more able to go anywhere on the mat. Where when I was like 135, I used to have one kind of system.
Yeah.
And if you it was very hard to get me off that kind of system. However, though, if you did get me off that system, I was fucked. So like now I've you know, it's like learning jits again. You know, I know it sounds cliche being a black belt and you're starting to learn jits again, but it really has been like it's like a new slate. And you know, I've become very interested in kind of, you know, taking the back and stuff like that. And it's just it's good fun. It's good fun expanding my knowledge on jits. And you know, I've you know, the last few months as well, I've started teaching. And that's also good fun. That really helps your knowledge of jits. It really, you know, the amount of times when, you know, you go to show someone stuff and it's like, I just do it in my mind. I don't know how to talk about it type thing. But, you know, I'm learning now how to coach properly, which is, you know, under Paul Rimmer, it's great being, you know, it's great being taught by him. So, you know, he's one of the best in the world. So it's good.
Definitely. That's one thing as well, coaching. The coaching gives a different kind of view to your own jiu-jitsu because, as you said, I mean, jiu-jitsu, a lot of times we do things in our head, but then once we actually speak about it and then we break the move down, it then, in our own head, it changes it for ourselves as well, because then we're actually physically breaking down a move. Let's say you go for, I don't know, a takedown, and there might be 3 steps to the takedown. So, whereas before, we would just go for a takedown, whereas now, you're like, okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, takedown. So it does add a little bit more. Yeah,
the teaching side of it's mad how much it opens up your, like, you even find that you're speaking better and everything type thing, because you can, you know, a lot of the time I've done jits for nearly 30, you know, apart from the pandemic, I had like about 18 months off with that. But I've been doing it for about 13 years now, and just me knowledge in the last year has gone so much. It's improved so much just because of the teaching, in my opinion. And you know, I'm teaching a beginners class, which it's doing really well at the minute. But it's a fun part of learning. You know what I mean? It's another part of the jiu-jitsu umbrella, which you're able to learn off as well. So it's good fun.
Awesome gym as well. Next generation, as I said, some of the best, not just grapplers, but MMA fighters and so on, all coming out of Liverpool at the moment. So It's an awesome place to be, Next Generation.
Yeah, it's a, you know what, it's a brilliant gym. I love it. You know, and the good thing about Rim is I think why we're so good is because he enables everyone to have their own style. It's like if you come to our gym, you'd be able to roll with everyone, but there's not one person who's quite like the same. You know, even the heavyweights. You know, you got like Big Muzz and then Jordan Wales, Matty Holmes, you know, jumps in with us and all that. Chris Brown, and we're all very different and unique. It's quite fun to kind of, each role is different, and you've got to kind of adapt your game via each other. And I think that's because of Rim's teacher. Like Rim, he doesn't force you to do his game. He doesn't. But he sees trends and he tries to teach them. But if you don't pick them up, you don't pick them up, and you move on to the next tool in your tool belt.
Yeah. No, definitely an awesome gym. Anybody in the Liverpool area, definitely hit up Next Gen, because you will get some awesome training. Whether you be a grappler or MMA fighter, whatever, then that's the place to go. Definitely, you'll learn a lot of stuff. Even just one session at Next Generation. Do you know what I mean? Even talking to the guys. I mean, I talked to Matty Holmes, I talked to different people coming out of Next Gen, and even just having a conversation with these guys about combat sports, you learn so much in a 10-minute conversation. So definitely make sure if you're in Liverpool.
Well, how far away are you from Liverpool?
So we're Glasgow, so we're 4 hours. So
4 hours, bloody hell. Well, but you know what? If you are all, you're all more than welcome to come. You know, we're doing open mat if you ever want to get down. Like after Grapple Fest, you're more than welcome. Yeah.
No, listen, that's one place I want to come. I say Matty Holmes always come down, come down, get some training, and so yeah, listen, there's one place I definitely want to come. Because
either with us, that's the only issue. There's some gi guys.
Yeah, listen, I'll be a guest, man. I'll come in, I'll do some no-gi. I don't mind that at all. So, and then what about you? What's next then? So obviously Grapplefest, main focus, but 2022 just around the corner. What would you like to see yourself doing next year?
I want to compete more. My main goal is just to compete more. I want to get to the point where I'm competing, regularly again, and I'm not. I find you perform best in a competition style when you're rolling like you're rolling with a blue belt in the gym, and if you can achieve that without getting nervous, in my past I've seen MMA fighters' heads completely go at a jiu-jitsu competition, yet they're absolutely fine cutting weight and going out to get elbowed in the face.
Yeah.
It's mad what jits, and I think it just shows what jits means to people. That's why you get so nervous about it and stuff like that. So my main goal is just to compete again. I want to be down to 99 and be competing regularly there as well. I would, like we were talking about doing the trials as well, the ADC trials.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a go at them, the European ones, and just to kind of see where I'm at, because I rolled with when Daisy Fresh were over. I rolled with Jacob Couch and I forget his name, the heavyweight guy. He's an absolute lovely guy.
John Hansen.
Yeah, John. Yeah, he's he spent half an hour with me, showing me parts of his game. He was he's a brilliant guy. And when I rolled with them, they would, don't get me wrong, they absolutely battered me, but at the same time I could hang with them as well. Do you know what I mean? So it was good. It was a good little kind of. No, and I thought, you know what, I've got you. It's about a year and a half away, the trials. So
yeah,
I've got that. I want to get down there, put a lot of muscle on, and do my best. Do my best to kind of have a proper go at it coming into my 30s. So that's me. Yeah. That's my plan. Anyway, but hopefully it works out. You never know.
Well, 100% sure it will. As I said, I love you. I keep hearing about everybody tell me that Paul Webb gives the best hugs in the gym. So, there's nothing like a Paul Webb hug.
You can have one on Saturday.
I'll get one on Saturday. Yeah, definitely. And then, Paul, obviously, final thing for you then. So you've been in the game for, as you mentioned, 13 years. You've been in for a long time. Again, over the years, I mean, you've had and still have some amazing training partners. I mean, you're talking about some of the best people. whether it be grappling or MMA and stuff like that, all train with yourself. So, but anybody in particular you want to shout out to? Any kind of friends, family members, teammates, anything like that?
You know what? He does deserve a bit of a shout out. He said he's the only reason I've started the weights and things like that. But Ian Wales, he's a good training partner. He's a terrible human being. He's one of the worst human beings I know. But he deserves a shout out.
Yeah, definitely. Big shout out to Ian Wales. He's going to be there on Saturday.
Yeah, he should be. I think he's in my corner. So I love him really. I just give him shit. Yeah.
Listen, we'll definitely get a catch up with him. What about any other friends or family members? Anybody?
Just everyone in Next Gen, and yeah, hi everyone. Yeah, thank you.
So, listen, you guys all know who you are. You definitely know who you are. I'd say Next Gen's a massive team, so to be able to sit here and thank each and individual person would be here forever.
Yeah, you know, like my main training partner, you know, Craig, Matty, Chris Brown, well, Big Muzz. I don't want to say loads of names because I'm going to miss someone off, and then they'll be in a mood with me for about 2 weeks. But yeah, and obviously Paul Rimmer. He's the man who, you know, who's kind of whose fault it is that we're all this good. So it's I'm looking forward to Saturday, and I'm looking forward to getting a good rolling.
Yeah, definitely a big shout out to Paul Rimmer, the boss man. You know what I mean? And said he's made some superstars in Liverpool, some real superstars.
His plans do, you know, his plans over the years, like some things have happened over the years, and you kind of think like, oh, like I remember like one of the big things that like Paddy when he first was offered to sign for the UFC, and you know, obviously I'm not one of the main coaches. I'm not really involved in them conversations, but I remember always questioning it. Wonder why he hasn't signed, wouldn't it? But you know what? You know, I fucking hell, if I got that opportunity, I'd be there getting ready to get out. But when you follow Paul Rimmer's plan, you end up fighting in Madison Square Garden. You end up fighting the co-main event in Las Vegas. So he's very well thought out, and he's very well planned, and he's a brilliant coach. And the great thing about Paul is he puts as much time into me as he does Paddy, and I make him. I mean, I get a $5 off each ticket that I sell for Grapple Fest. You know what I mean? So I'm guessing Paddy's making a bit more in the UFC than that.
Probably a few quid more. Yeah, a few quid more.
So so that's what I mean. And so it's, to me, it's not about money for him. It's his passion. He loves it, and the only thing he needs to improve on, though, Paul, is he's terrible at Halo. So it is.
Listen, we'll forgive him for the Halo because everything else he's doing is absolutely
everything else is perfect.
Yes. So guys, there we go. We're going to have Paul Webb, Next Generation MMA, going to be up against Mark Macqueen, BJJ. Now, this Saturday, the 3rd of December. So again, we're 5 days away from one of the biggest shows of the year. This will be the final Grapplefest show of 2022, and then we'll be moving on. I think the next one's going to be February 2023. So now, anybody looking for tickets for this event, again, hit up Paul first of all. If you want to go and see Paul, make sure you do hit up Paul for some tickets. I believe the tickets, you've got them now. I think, did you get them last week?
I ordered them, but they still haven't. I think they're coming from Spain, aren't they? So it'll take quite a while. And plus, everyone's on strike, aren't they? So yeah. I will get them. You know what I mean?
They are. They're welcome.
Yeah,
they're welcome. So yeah, hit up Paul first of all. If you can't get any tickets from Paul, or if he's maybe sold them out, then make sure you head over to Grapplefest, either Instagram or Facebook, and you will get ticket details from there. There's also pay-per-view, as there always is on Fight TV. Now, the cheapest, most cost-efficient way of doing it is to go for the monthly option. Monthly option costs $4.99, and that'll give you not just this Grapplefest, but every other Grapplefest, as well as there's a lot of other grappling events on there as well. So there's also something to cater for everyone on Fight TV. So make sure you head over to Fight TV and get that monthly option. If you don't want to go for the monthly option and you just want to buy the single event, it costs $14.99. So monthly option is definitely very, very cost efficient. So we're absolutely buzzing. I love Paul. Do you know what I mean? I've seen Paul compete a few times now. And again, all the stories I'm hearing from different people about Paul, I said, best hugs in Liverpool. I'm going to experience it on Saturday night. I'm going to get a hug off him on Saturday night.
You might be overrating it now, you know what I mean? I don't want you to be disappointed.
But you'll have a big lineup at Grapplefest, like, Paul, I want a hug. I want a hug. So, but you should charge for these hugs, man. £5 a hug. £5 a hug. So anybody...
the free of charge.
But listen, I'm absolutely buzzing to see you on Saturday, buddy. It's going to be another great night. But listen, enjoy the rest of your week. And
Thank you.
I'll see you Saturday, brother.
I'll see you Saturday, mate. Thank you for having me on. Take care.
Take it easy, buddy. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.